Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $2.85. The market turned green once again today. Over the weekend, everybody was frustrated. They're like, this cycle is so over. There's not going to be an alt season. Time to pull out your money. Today, we're back in the green once again. And I want you to look at the all-time on XRP, because people keep saying we're halfway up this green candle. I see every single chart guy saying it. I don't think so. I think we're still down here, because if you look at this, all I see is a correction from the election. That's it. After the election, I think XRP's price just corrected with all of that bullish news. I think we have a long way to go on the price of XRP. And if you look at the 1 year, you look at where we are. I mean, everybody's complaining. They're like, XRP never moves. When is it going to break out and reach all these price points people keep talking about? You got to remember, last year at this time, this is where we were sitting, around 50 cents. You know, I think we were at actually 57 cents last year on this very day. Look at where we are now. And anytime you see XRP go into this downward trend, usually we see the next leg up. Let's hope that happens from here. And look at Bitcoin back above 111K. You know, any retail investor that's in Bitcoin, they should get out once Bitcoin breaks above 120K. Because honestly, I don't see it going to these price points people keep shouting out. 150K, 250K. I think it's going to come in somewhere between $130,000 and $150,000. That's most likely going to be the top for Bitcoin. But again, Bitcoin still has that one last move up in it. People keep counting it out. And I think it's because the Bitcoin market, the price of Bitcoin is very manipulated right now. That's what I see going on. They manipulate the price of Bitcoin and it brings the rest of the market down with it when it happens. Is Red September canceled for XRP? Whales keep aggressively buying the dip. You know, I think there's a very good chance that XRP will break the September curse. It's not only the whale activity, though. I think something big is going to drop for this cryptocurrency. Some catalyst is going to cause XRP to break out. Plus, everybody's going to be positioning themselves ahead of the ETFs possibly going live in October. And who knows, maybe the SEC fast tracks and they end up going live sooner than we all thought. Maybe they go live in September. This comes from Wrath of Common. Ripple partner Bitso, ODL, RLUSD, and XRP has made significant announcements by Stablecoin Conference LATAM 2025. Bitso business expanding into Chile and Peru. Embedded FX AAS for LATAM, including real-time USD pay with Bitso, merchant crypto payments, and instant settlements. I like the merchant crypto payments because that puts us on the path to mass adoption. Because when you could spend your crypto at the merchants, that's going to be it, because people then will see crypto as having real value. But this is great because this is more rails getting put in place in Latin America. And these are ODL rails for XRP and RLUSD. Vivo Power deepens ties with XRP. Kicks off $30 million XRP Treasury yield strategy. Now, this is what every retail investor should be doing as well. In partnership with Doppler Finance, Vivo Power has deployed $30 million worth of XRP into yield-generating programs built on the XRP ledger. The plan is to use XRP Ledger's yield services to reinvest earnings directly back into its reserves, creating a compounding loop. This approach not only leverages XRP's speed and efficiency, but also signals a growing trend of corporate entities experimenting with blockchain-native yield mechanisms. So what they plan to do is generate yield and then reinvest that yield. In other words, if you're a retail investor and you're getting passive income, you should always be reinvesting some of that passive income. This way, it raises your passive income at the same time. That way, you're continuing to build wealth. And that's what will lead to generational wealth at some point in the future. We never had these options for XRP before. Back in 2022, when it was the worst year in crypto, it would have been great to earn off of our XRP. This way, we could have just been building up our bags for the last 3 years. And it would have been great to do that, but we didn't have the options back then. Now the options are opening up. And as the institutions flood this space over the coming months, they're going to open up even more options for retail investors. And this one is big. Thunes Payments and Ripple team to bolster cross-border payments. Get the details on PYMNTS. So what they're doing is this. They're expanding out. And Ripple Payments, the release added near global coverage with more than 90 payout markets representing more than 90% coverage of the daily foreign exchange markets, processing upwards of $70 billion in volume. By combining Thunes' extensive and trusted direct global network with Ripple's digital asset infrastructure, we are enhancing payment speed, accessibility, and compliance across regions. This is big because, again, it's more rails getting put in place, and they're expanding out. And this also comes back to cross-border payments. Remember, everybody said, oh, Ripple abandoned cross-border payments. Well, this shows you they didn't abandon anything. This shows you we're 90% there when it comes to the global market. Once all the rails are put in place, I think that is when we will see the flip of the switch. I just think the system isn't quite complete yet. There's still a lot of banking the unbanked that has to get done. Because if you're going to take the US dollar, if you're going to create a whole new financial system and strengthen the US dollar, you want to make sure that US dollar is available in every single corridor. And that's what Ripple is doing. That's also what Stellar has been doing. But it's great to see even more expansion with the Ripple rails, the XRP rails. XRP closes 9 straight months above $2 despite ongoing downturns. Like I said at the beginning of this video, XRP is still holding up very strong. People only see the daily chart for some reason. They never zoom out and see the big picture. Once this cryptocurrency blasts off, I'm telling you, there is going to be so many people with regret, knowing that XRP was there the entire time, but they didn't want to invest in it because they couldn't swallow their pride, like the Bitcoin maxis. If it's not Bitcoin, it's not for me. Well, very soon we're going to watch XRP outperform Bitcoin, Ethereum, and almost every other cryptocurrency in this space during this massive run that's coming over the coming months. There's going to be so many people saying, I wish I would have taken my money and put it into XRP. Binance is deliberately dumping XRP to suppress prices and expert shares, raising fresh concerns over market manipulation. First of all, CZ is no longer at Binance. And it's not Binance that's doing this. What's going on is this. They are manipulating the price of Bitcoin. So whenever they drop the price of Bitcoin, of course, the rest of the market goes with it. And then what happens? Bitcoin bounces back, the rest of the market bounces back with it. But this is not going to continue forever. Eventually, XRP and utility-driven cryptocurrencies, they're going to break away from Bitcoin. They're going to decouple from it. And I want to see how XRP performs without being tied to Bitcoin. I think that's when we will see the true prices of XRP. Because there's no way the real price of XRP is $2.80 some cents. Elon Musk AI predicts XRP price for December if XRP ETFs are approved in October 2025. Now, there's some problems with this price prediction. First of all, Grok is saying $6 to $8 if institutional inflows reach the higher estimates and market conditions remain favorable. What Grok is not pricing in is the market cap multiplier. With that priced in, I think we're going a lot higher. You know, that market cap multiplier is going to be the biggest game changer in this entire run. Because right now, everybody's talking about Ethereum's multiplier, 20x. XRP's market cap multiplier is always like 2 to 400x, sometimes even higher. So the market cap of XRP, with all these inflows coming from these ETFs, I think we're going to see some crazy price points. I see people now predicting $50 plus easily, meaning we're most likely going to go a lot higher. XRP price could reach $637 if Bitcoin hits $500 trillion market cap. I hate these articles. First of all, Bitcoin is not going to see a $500 trillion market cap. That's coming from Jack Mallers in his closet, his empty closet, speaking nonsense all the time about Bitcoin. He thinks that Bitcoin is some sort of money that was immaculately concepted out of nothing. It just came out of nowhere. But as XRP investors, we all know who created Bitcoin. So I don't see Bitcoin hitting a $500 trillion market cap. And XRP will run on its own. It has utility and it has use case. Doesn't matter where Bitcoin goes at all. XRP is going to be the biggest shocker. Wait and see. And if we're talking about market cap, Raw Paul is predicting a $100 trillion market cap. But that's not anytime soon. He's saying this is going to happen around 2032. I think the crypto space is going to see a $100 trillion market cap through tokenization. That's going to be what sends this space to those high market cap predictions that people keep making. But market cap does not matter in crypto. People just don't get that yet. It's like they're living in the past. You know, that was a great argument back in 2017, 18, 19, 20, because people back then, they didn't realize that XRP could get there with the market cap multiplier. They didn't realize market cap multipliers even existed back then. Nobody ever talked about it back then. Everything was like XRP will never pass $10 because of previous cycles and market cap. XRP is going to reach $1,000 quicker than people think. You know, if all the catalysts play out perfectly, I could see XRP reaching $1,000 sometime by 2027. I think 2026 is going to be a bigger year than people think. I think it's going to be the year of institutional adoption. I also think it's going to be the year of utility as well. And back to what I said at the beginning of this video, I honestly do not think that we are halfway up this green candle. I think we're somewhere down in here. I think this is nothing more than a correction that we've seen so far. The real run hasn't even started yet. And when that run happens, when that run begins, XRP is going to move very violently to the upside. It is going to move so quick. People on the sidelines are going to be chasing green candle after green candle. And that's what we have to look forward to still as XRP holders. But until it does happen, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.